Welcome back to another episode of A Gambled Life. In this episode, it's part 2 of our Capeyork adventure. In this part, we are leaving Victoria, heading through centre of New South Wales into Outback Queensland, all the way up to the oldtelegraphtrack. So let's hit the road. Just quickly, if you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave it down in the description down below where you can see how we plan this trip. But let's get into part 2. We left home at 8 p.m. on Friday the 18th of July, grabbing a quick dinner and topping up the diesel tank. Then we did a 4-hour drive up to Tocumwal, staying on the Victorian side of the Murray at Finley Beach campsite. This is a free campsite along the Murray. There is no toilets, but we were just hoping to have a really good night's sleep as we got there at 12 o'clock at night, but there was heaps of noisy koalas that kept us up pretty much all night. We got up early the next morning as the sun rose, crossing the Victorian and New South Wales border. We stopped in at the local Tocumwal bakery where we got a delicious egg and bacon roll, a coffee for the wife and a hot chocolate for me. My mate Vienne said,
"How cool, our first tourist attraction."
We then hit the road again, getting some good hours up behind us, having a quick pit stop while I chucked some sausage rolls in the travel buddy, continuing on for another few hours before pulling up for lunch at Condobolin, where we stopped to have lunch but also check out the ute paddock. How awesome was this lunch stop? We then accidentally took a wrong turn, which then made us do this detour up this long, straight gravel road. All of a sudden, we then rocked up at the geographic centre of New South Wales. So we pulled up as we had to get a photo at it. We continued driving along this gravel road for a while, eventually finding some bitumen again, and all of a sudden, we were in Nyngan, where you would find the big bogan. Oh no, not me, this bogan. After checking out the biggest bogan in town, we continued driving. As we crossed over the Queensland border, it was now dusk. For those that aren't aware, dusk is actually one of the more dangerous times to drive due to the fact that you have a higher risk to having an animal strike, due to animal and wildlife actually using the road's temperature to stay warm as the temperatures drop overnight. But we battled through dodging heaps of roos, so many goats and pigs, it was not funny. But I am so thankful and lucky that I fixed my driving lights and light bars before this trip so they could shine so far down the road picking up animals' movement before I even got to them. But it was still crazy and scary at the same time. I don't recommend you drive at dusk because it is so likely that you might hit an animal. There are just so many of them. We then stopped into Cunnamulla where we had some homemade pasta bake we had made up a few weeks before. We reheated it up in the travel buddy. After having dinner, we then did a little bit more driving until we got to Wyandra, where we stayed at the Wyandra donation campsite. I went to brave the campsite showers, but sadly they had no water this time, so oh well. Jumped into bed, and that was day one. It was a 12-hour mission. Just a tip with phone service, my wife is with Aldi service. She did not get any service the whole of Outback Queensland. Myself and Vienne, we did get service in bits and pieces. Just be prepared that you might not get service in Outback Queensland. Woke up to an absolute awesome sunrise after a absolute freezing night. It was so cold that the condensation in the rooftop tent froze over. Made a quick coffee for the wife, a Milo for myself. Tried out these porridge bowls that we had got, that all you need to add is hot water into them, and then back on the road for another big day. We then travelled some good kilometres, got some hours up, stopping at Tambo Lake Park area where we had a quick toilet stop, stretched the legs, had a snack and continued driving. We then got up the road a little bit where we had to stop for ages, letting some cows cross the road. This was an awesome sight to see, as some real true outback cowboys were on horseback guiding these cattle across the road. All you got to do is just travel at a slow speed, just crawling, and you virtually can move forward through the stock of cattle, but just be prepared to sit there for a while because at times you can't move. Finally got through the traffic jam and continued up the road to Muttaburra. Muttaburra has the centre of Queensland. After Muttaburra, we got onto this gravel road heading up into Hewenden. We checked out the Muttaburrasaurus and also another awesome water tank art. We set up camp at the Hewenden RV campsite. This campsite was free, but you had to be self-sufficient. It was another freezing cold night, and I tell you, I'm always in shorts. You will always find me wearing a pair of shorts, even in snow. But it was so cold this night that even I chucked on a pair of trackies. That was day 2 done. We then got up early the next morning before the sun, stopped into the local bakery as my wife needs coffee in the morning, if you can't tell already. We then got back on the road nice and early because we had another 10-hour drive getting up to Cooktown today. On the way, we stopped at Porcupine Gorge. This place is absolute beautiful. There is actually 2 walks that you can do at this gorge, but we chose to do the short one. What an absolute beautiful place. But we got to get back on the road and make some good kilometres up. We were doing this until we got stuck between 20 plus caravans. And I tell ya, getting stuck between one caravan is bad at times. But try getting stuck between 20 plus. It was just ridiculous. But we all pulled up at this one servo. It was like the Grand Prix of watching every single wife try and run to the toilet. But I already gave my wife the heads up as we pulled up in the conga line for fuel. You should get out now and run. Just run to the toilet. And sure enough, every single other wife saw her do this, and it was on. We made everyone jealous at this servo as we had slow cooked chops for lunch. I had chucked these on in the morning into the travel buddy and let them slowly cook all morning right up into lunchtime, and everyone got a whiff of it at the servo as we were eating it, and it just made everyone jealous. After lunch, we didn't want to get stuck behind all these caravans again, so we had a quick look on the maps and found this detour that ended up being a shortcut, but it was this awesome gravel road that head way up into the mountain, turned into a track that went through some river crossings and got us all the way up, where we crossed back onto the bitumen and got up to Mount Gibson, where we stopped at the lookout, and what an awesome lookout this was.
We stumbled across this bird that just looked like my mate Vienne.
We then went down the mountain, getting into Lakeland, where you got to get your iconic gateway to Capeyork pictures. We continued into Cooktown, where we went to the iconic Lion's Den. We camped up here for the night and had dinner in the pub. And what a cracking way to end day 3. Got up in the morning, we packed up the rooftop tents. We also filled up our water tanks, as at the Lion's Den they have drinking water that you are allowed to fill up tanks and whatever you want to fill up with. Then we drove into the town of Cooktown, where we went into the IGA, stocked up our supplies for the old telegraph track, headed back out to Lakeland, where we chucked a righty and got on to the PDR, the Peninsula Development Road. One red dirt, dusty road that it was, heading up to the Bramwell Station Tourist Park. Tip with the PDR is to air down your tyres and just work out a steady speed to glide over the top of the corrugation.
Cars coming out, John, Billy.
That must be Billy.
Along the PDR you'll find some bitumen sections to give yourself some hope. Here's one that they're actually doing a burn off along, which was an awesome sight to see. But sure enough, this bitumen section will end and then you're back on the red dirt. We missed a massive rain shower coming into Bramwell, so our cars were then covered in red mud. Bramwell Tourist Park. I highly suggest you staying here. It is $35 per person, and I suggest you pay the extra $45 for dinner and the show. Your $35 gets you your campsite, also toilet and showers. It also has free washing machines. That extra $45 gets you an awesome dinner, and the show is well worth the watch. Again, I highly recommend you go to Bramwell Tourist Park. Got up early as the sun came up, packed up the rooftop and did my usual check under the bonnet. I do this every single morning on a trip like this, and I highly suggest you do it as well, as you can spot potential problems before you become stranded on the side of the road. I also checked my wheel nuts while we were there, as we had done some serious corrugation the day before. Then headed towards Bramwell Junction, where we got my wife her caffeine that she needed, got some diesel, head down to forward drive pressures, and got our iconic photos. Hope you like this episode. Join us in the next part as we hit the old telegraph track. If you've liked this part, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, as this adventure is not done yet, as there is some awesome stuff still to come. Thanks for watching, guys. On to the next one.